morning. It's time to change the blade in my rotary cutter. I'm ready to change from this is my best rotary cutter. I really like it. You don't have to worry about shutting it. And this is for fabric, and I have one which is just for paper or other things. So I usually take the good blade out of here and put it in here, and then I throw this one into the old box. I have a new box of rotary, well, it's been used, but this is new blades, this is old blades. Here's the way I do this. I know it seems very simple to me that after this many years, I need to do this in the same procedure each time. I unscrew this little screw. I take out the little ring or the little, whatever it's called, washer, I don't know. Take off the rotary cutter, and usually I will like clean off the edges because oftentimes there's a lot of dust on there. Then I will take off the blade very carefully, and usually it's full of dust. I'm going to set it to the side. And then take off this little inside piece, and see, it's rather grungy looking. And then there's the center of the rotary cutter. So now it's time for my new blade. Get out and this is the last one in there. So I'm going to put it back together in the same way I took it apart. Which I put this down, I laid the blade on there. Be very careful when you're handling your blade. Take this and set it on top. Take this and set it on top. And take this and set it on top and try to screw it down. You can, and like I said, I usually wipe this out so that it's clean. You don't want to do that often because the rotary blades have some sort of a coating a little bit on them, and we don't want to mess that up. All right, so this one should, there it's locked, here it's unlocked. Let's see if it will cut really nice now. Okay. Now then, this blade, or this cutter, I think is a little bit different. I'm not sure. I think I unscrew this. And there's another little tiny one of those washers, or I don't know what they are. Take this off. Take this off gently. I think the blade's here. Take the old blade, which seems to be stuck like on there, and we're going to be throwing that one away. So I am going to wipe this thing off as well as I can. Ugh. And I'm going to be I'm going to lay the blade on the older blade on top of here. And lay this in here. Lay this on top. I hope this will work. And put this on. We're going to see. Okay. Now here he's locked. Okay, let's see if he will cut still. You don't want to tighten this up too close. You're going to be used for paper, right? Right. See, you can use it for that paper. So there you go. I have 2 better cutting rotary cutters now, and this is the way I change my blades. Hope this helps you out. If you are new to rotary cutting, I have some little tips that I have learned, and if you know all this, grand. If you're kind of brand new, these are some of the things that it's good to know if you're using your rotary cutter. You need to have a mat. You need to have some good rulers. I have several different that I like for cutting squares or cutting strips. I am going to be cutting a square, and my square needs to be 4 3/8, I believe. So I really only think I need 1 square, but you never know, I might need 2. So I sometimes will take my fabric after I've pressed it, I lay it out and I fold it over on itself. This looks like it's going to be close. I lay my ruler on top. This luckily is a nice straight line. If it weren't a straight line, I would try something else. And lay the top of my ruler right up on that line. And then look, and whoa, it's very close here. And it's going off the edge at 4 1/2. But I think that I might be able to do it. So what I usually do is I usually come to the, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to cut on the right side, right up next to the ruler. Pull this away. I always leave my cutter or my ruler sitting until I've pulled it away, just to make sure. Then I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to lay it down here. Again on top. I think I want 4 3/8. And so I look at the dots on my ruler, which are at 4 3/8, or very close. I'm thinking maybe some of my dots might have gone, well, I still see a line there and there. And then I'm going to put my hand on the ruler, but I don't want to put my hand on here. It might slip. So I always use my small pinky finger and I hold the edge of the ruler with the pinky finger. And then I can put my hand down and have a good grip. I cut here and I'm going to cut here. We'll see if the bottom one made the cut. Oh, it did. So now I have 2 that are going to be used, and they're nice squares. So remember the deal about putting your pinky finger on the edge to hold the ruler. Now I'm ready to do a little cutting of strips. I have, this is my big ruler. It's 6 1/2 by 24 1/2, I think. I like that when I'm doing big things, but it's a little hard to fit under the camera here, so I've got the small one. And this is the same idea, only it's just 3 inches wide. So if I'm going to cut a strip, what I usually do is I want 2-inch strips. So I usually put the ruler down to make sure that there's enough to cut a 2-inch strip over here. I'm looking at this line. And I can get him all the way over to there pretty well. And then I'm not sure that these lines are totally straight, but for me, I'm cutting crossways on the fabric, so it can be close. So I hold my ruler down, and again, this kind of ruler has a little bit of a backing on it, which it doesn't move, like slip around a lot, but I still use my hand, and I use part of my fingers to hold the back side of the ruler right over here so that it doesn't move too much. And I'm going to make sure I have 2 inches again. I'm going to cut right along that side. Pull the fabric away. Now I'm going to just take this one and flip it around. Lay the ruler down so that this line, the 2-inch line, is on the cut edge. And have him lined up. Again, hold the ruler so it's not going to slip. Cut along here, and this will be pitched. Now then, if I needed if I need another strip, I would just lay my 2-inch line right here and my ruler cut right here. The thing about that you should remember when you're cutting is the most stable place is under the ruler for your fabric. So if you're cutting, I'm going to go ahead and cut another 2-inch strip. If you are cutting a strip and I want 1 inch There you go. This is not going to move when I'm cutting, so my strip is not going to get a little bit out of shape. Always remember, the most of your fabric should be under your ruler when you're cutting strips. Now I'm going to cut some squares. So I take my 2-inch strips, and I can use this ruler, or I can use my square ruler. Again, I cut off the edge, then I flip around, and I want a 2-inch square. I can use this little ruler right like this, lay it here, have it lined up there, and I've got 2 2-inch squares. I can keep going on. Sometimes another thing I can do is use a 6-inch ruler. You can lay a 6-inch ruler down, and I have it at the 6 on this line. It's lined up, whoops, not quite lined up there. Lined up here, lined up here. And now I'm going to cut this edge off. So now I have a 6-inch hunk. 6, take away 2 is 4. So I'm going to scoot back to the 4. Again, most of my fabric is going to be under the ruler, so I can cut off another 2-inch. Come back, 4 minus 2 is 2. I can scooch right back and get another 2-inch square. See how easy that is when you need to have multiple sizes, multiple squares. Start with your big, if you need several, that is the way to do it.